News analysis 70 years ago, Washington-Moscow flooded the Korean Peninsula with weapons and aid as they fueled war between South-North. Now, at that fateful moment when history turns back on itself, Russia and United States are reaching out to same allies to provide much-needed ammunition. The powers are facing each other again, this time on other side of world. When President Vladimir V, Putin met with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in Russia's Far East on Wednesday. What North Korea called a satisfactory agreement was reached on urgent issues of cooperation between the two states. They found common interests in opposing the United States and its allies. In the event of a specific arms deal, neither Moscow nor Pyongyang were expected to announce it. Purchasing weapons from North Korea or providing assistance to its weapons programs is a violation of United Nations Security Council resolutions for which Russia itself voted. Matthew Miller, a State Department spokesman in Washington, described the meeting as Mr. Putin begging Kim Jong-un for help. But Russia isn't only one turning to the Korean Peninsula for help. South Korea has been sending large quantities of artillery shells to United States for months under quiet agreements with Washington. He insists he did not directly supply lethal weapons to Ukraine, but shipments to the U.S. military help free up American stockpiles for Ukraine to use in the fight against Russia. The Korean War never officially ended after the guns fell silent with an armistice in 1953. Both Koreas, technically still at war, have since engaged in an arms race, building two of the world's largest standing armies with large stockpiles of weapons. Although isolated and impoverished, North Korea prioritized military buildup with propaganda machines encouraging constant vigilance against American invasion. It developed its missiles by reverse engineering Soviet systems. It is believed to have produced its first intercontinental ballistic missiles using black market rockets from Ukraine. The country also made money by selling weapons to countries such as Syria and Iran. Both Koreas, technically still at war, have been engaged in an arms race since 1953. Credit Chang W. LeeThe New York Times. South Korea built its defense industry by copying weapons provided as military aid from the United States. He also captured technology as much as he could and developed the first space rocket with Russian technology. He also strengthened the arms industry for export. It has won multibillion-dollar contracts to sell tanks, howitzers, fighter jets, missiles and armored vehicles, in part to help meet demand driven by the war in Ukraine. In the post-Cold War era, South and North Korea were the only countries that remained at constant war with large stockpiles of artillery and other weapons ready for use, said Yang Uk, a military expert in Asan, Institute of Policy Studies in Seoul. The fact that South and North Korea are